Welcome back to the Cobargo IT 2026 PI Law Technology Series. I'm Amelia Pero, and in this episode, we're getting into the nuts and bolts of technology adoption, what platforms are dominating, what trends are accelerating, and what the data actually says about where PI firms are in their digital journey. Back with me is Yuval Gorin, CEO of Cobargo IT. Yuval, let's get into it. The report says that over 75% of PI firms have migrated core systems to the cloud. That's a big number. What's actually driving that adoption?
Hello, Amelia. Good to see you again. Actually, three forces: client expectations, remote uh, work necessity, and economics. Clients today expect a portal. They want to log in and see their case status, upload documents, communicate securely on their phone at 9 p.m. If you're not providing that, you feel behind. And in the competitive intake environment of PI law firms, that perception matters. So remote work turned from a preference to a requirement. The firms that were already on cloud infrastructure sailed through the pandemic. The firms that were still running on a server in a closet had a very bad couple of years and were scrambling to adapt. And most of them accelerated their cloud migration out of necessity. And the economics have flipped, right? It used to be that cloud was more expensive than owning your own hardware. But today, when you factor in the cost of hardware refresh cycles, IT support for on-prem systems, and the security liability of running your own servers, cloud is almost always cheaper over a 3 to 5 year horizon, especially for a firm in the range of 20 to 150 attorneys.
You mentioned the platforms driving this: Clio, Filevine, Litify, MyCase. How do firms choose between them? Is there a clear leader?
There's no universal answer, but there are some useful decision frameworks. Clio is the broadest platform. It works well across practice areas, has the largest integration ecosystem, and is usually the right call for firms that want an all-in-one solution without a lot of customization. It's kind of like the Toyota Camry of legal SaaS, reliable, well supported, and a large community. FileVine is built specifically for litigation heavy and PI heavy practices. It has more powerful document automation and PI specific workflow templates out of the box. But if you're a PI focused firm processing high case volumes, FileVine is certainly worth a serious look. Litify is built on Salesforce, which means it has the most powerful CRM and business intelligence capabilities of the group, but also has a higher implementation cost and more complexity. It tends to be a better fit for larger firms with dedicated operational staff. And you're going to want to really get into the customization that that platform affords you. So again, a little bit higher cost. The decision framework I give clients: start with your biggest pain point. If it's intake and client communications, lean towards Clio or Filevine. If it's analytics and business intelligence, more customization, it's going to be Litify. If it's document automation and PI workflows, Filevine. And you're always going to factor in what your staff will actually use. The best platform is going to be the one your team adopts.
The report mentions a significant shift toward mobile and remote first company issued devices, centralized device management, right? Is that really a trend specific to PI, or is it just general IT hygiene?
It's general IT hygiene that PR firms are finally taking seriously. And the PI specific context makes it more urgent than most. Think about how a PI attorney or paralegal is going to work. They're in court, they're at a deposition, they're at a client's home, they're visiting a rehab facility. They need full access to the case file from wherever they are. And that access needs to be secure. The old model was use your personal phone, connect to our VPN, hope for the best. That model is a compliance and security disaster. You have firm data on personal devices that you don't control. No ability to remotely wipe if the device is lost or stolen. No visibility into what apps have access to your client data. The modern model is company issued encrypted devices, centralized management through an MDM platform, MFA on everything. You control the device, you control the data, and you can wipe it remotely if a paralegal leaves their laptop in an Uber. That's not optional anymore. It's table stakes for any firm that takes client data seriously.
You mentioned integration platforms talking to each other. How big of an issue is integration for PI firms, and what does a well-integrated tech stack actually look like?
Integration is the difference between a tech stack and a tech pile of, I'll let you finish that one. A tech pile is a bunch of tools that don't talk to each other. Your intake data is in one place, your case management is in another, your billing is in a third, your communications is in a fourth. Staff manually re-entering data between systems. No single source of truth. A well-integrated stack means data flows automatically. A new intake into your web form goes directly to CMS, Clio, or Filevine without anyone having to touch it. A call comes in through your VoIP system and gets logged automatically in your CRM with a timestamp and a recording link. A settlement gets recorded in your case management system and automatically triggers billing workflows. For PI firms, the core integration chain I recommend is intake, lead capture, leads to case management, leads to communication, leads to billing, leads to reporting. You can get those five nodes talking to each other. You've eliminated probably 30 to 40% of admin overhead. That's not a technology benefit. That's a headcount benefit.
Yeah. What are the biggest barriers you see firms running into when they try to modernize their technology?
Three things in order of frequency. First, staff resistance. People are comfortable with how they're always done things, right? We've always used this system. I don't want to learn a new platform. Change management is a technology problem. It's not a technology problem. It's a people problem. And the firms that invest in training, communications, and internal champions for new technology adoption, like AI, are the ones that actually get value from their investments. Secondly, legacy system debt. Firms that have been around for 15 or 20 years often have old systems that are deeply embedded in their workflows. Migrating data off of those systems is painful, but the longer you wait, the more painful it gets. We always tell clients there's never a perfect time to migrate. There's just the sooner and later, and sooner is almost always cheaper. You can't avoid the pain. Third, scope creep and implementation. Firms that try to implement everything at once hit the wall at month three and end up with a half deployed system that nobody trusts. The firms that succeed take a phased approach, quick wins first, then build from there. Prove the value, build the confidence, and then expand. Talk to your teams, make sure that you're building a culture that's ready for adoption.
Great practical perspective. Next episode, we're covering voice and communication technologies, VoIP, AI receptionists, SMS, and how the leading PI firms are building communication stacks that never miss a lead. See you then.